Mawlana Shaykh's teaching that Allah describing that, I'm not in the heaven and I'm not on earth, but I'm in the heart of my believer. وَقَلْبُ الْمُؤْمِنِ baytullah means for us and from Mawlana Shaykh's teaching is a open and important reality that begins to open, whether it's the practice of going for Hajj, circumambulating the Kaaba, whether we are praying or whirling and expressing our love through many different practices. That reminder always from myself is that Prophet teaching that holy hadith that Allah opens for the servant a nearness, that when that servant approaches through the voluntary worshipness, then Allah begins to love that servant. That through the nafil, through the voluntary worshipness, Allah will begin to love the servant. Then Prophet described, if Allah dresses that servant with love, their hearing will be from divine hearing, Allah's hearing. Their seeing will be from divine seeing. Their breathing will be from divine breath. Their speaking will be from divine and heavenly words. Their hands, their movement, their every action will be dressed from divine oceans and actions. Means reminder for ourselves that in a world that's so committed or addicted to form, that our way is to break the form. And many different Sufi teachings that you come across a people who are so excessive in their praying. Pray, 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 as if the praying is the goal. There are people who are so excessive in their fasting, 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 as if the fasting was the goal. And then there are people who are so excessive in their whirling that they believe the whirling, the sama, the ceremony of the sama is so spiritual, so holy that they become lost in the concept of the sama and the importance of the sama, as if the sama was everything. And Mawlana Shaykh is reminding always for us, whether it's the salah, whether it's the praying, the fasting, all of these different actions were a means in which to purify the self. That the Divine is teaching us that you have with you a donkey and you have with you a very heavenly being which is your soul. That for that soul to move into my Divinely Presence, you must tame and discipline the donkey. But don't be lost in playing with the donkey. Means that when we get so lost in the form and forget about the goal is to feel the Divinely Presence. Because the Divine is saying, Allah is saying, if you're approaching me through voluntary, nobody's forcing you, you're doing what you're doing out of love. If you're really doing that out of love, you will begin to feel me. You will hear me, I will dress you from your hearing. Means that the Divine has to give us a power on our ears to hear our heart, hear our higher consciousness. Because all we hear now are just the sort of bad advice of people. The Divine says, I will love you when I kiss you and dress you with the dress of love. You will hear what your soul is in need of. you will begin to hear the angels, the heavens, the saints and all the guidance that will be drawing you closer. I'll dress you with your eyes and I will become your seeing, means that your soul will see with the yaqeen and with the certainty what I'm about to show you, and your heart is not going to move, it's going to have certainty. It begins to see what others don't see, begins to see many heavenly realities that the Divine wants to show. They say that when the Divine loves you, begins to show you His kingdom. Like you come to somebody's house that loves you and say, oh look what I have prepared for you, look all these nice treats, all these nice desserts, all this welcoming of a guest with such honour, with such love. The Divine saying that, I will become your eyes and I will show you what you can't imagine to be shown. And I become your breath, so that with your breath and the power of your breathing, your soul flying into Divinely Presence. I'll become your speech in which you speak, means that you'll be connected to Divinely oceans, to the heart of Prophet heart of awliyaullah, that your speech will reach the souls of people. Not like in school, the professors when they talk, they barely reach your head. Their words are from their mind. They are learned people. Learned people speak from head to head. That's why they put most of us to sleep. As soon as oh here comes the frequencies and everybody begins to turn their head off and pass out. Heavenly people, wise people, they speak heart to heart. They send a heart transmission to everyone's heart, and everyone is picking up the frequency, the energy, the words and the guidance and the wisdom that they are in need of. And that becomes the uniqueness of the Divine Presence from the oceans of al-Wahy. That Allah says, if I begin to speak through you and heavenly power begins to emanate from you, I send a digital signal from your tongue, from your heart, that everyone will pick up what they're in need of picking up, and each uniquely has their own frequency. It doesn't just broadcast and everybody hear the same words. Everybody's heart is waiting for something, and in a heavenly association their hearts begin to pick up their digital signal from Divine Presence. I become the hands in which you move, means your hands dressed from Divinely hands, from Prophetic hand salam, from awliya hands, and those hands yadullah means heavenly power, heavenly support. And Allah says in the heart of Holy Qur'an is Surah Yasin Subhanalladhi biyadihi al-mulk. Allah even saying His glory be to the hand that has reached that mulk. Allah saying glory. That if my hand dresses your hand and that hand is dressed by the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad Subhanalladhi biyadihi mulk. That glory be to Allah's magnificence and munificence, that your hand is in the hands of the Prophets, in the saints of ahlul bayt, of the companions, and your hands have power. Means you merely ask and you shall receive. In their darajat and in their degrees, Allah is going to open degrees of that power. And your feet means that your every qadam and every movement will be in my direction. Because if Allah is dressing your ears, dressing your eyes, dressing your tongue, dressing your hand, then no doubt He must be dressing the feet, so that you don't take your feet to places that are useless and worthless, but He inspires your qadam to go towards my Divinely Presence, go towards my openings and towards my majesty, so that every step you take towards me, my Divinely ocean opens up 99 steps towards your soul. This is Allah's rahmah, Allah's grace and mercy, that one step towards the Divine opens 99 steps in return from Divine Presence. Means that is what saintly people want for us. They say that whatever you're doing, don't be lost in the doing but achieve that reality. That if you're praying, alhamdulillah, everybody has to pray. We don't put any specific reward on the praying, but if you're praying excessively, are you hearing yet? Are you seeing yet? Are you speaking yet? Are you feeling yet? Means, is Allah dressed you with that kiss of love and nearness? If not, then all the praying in the world is not working for you. Means yet not the adab and not the mannerisms of sincerity, not the khushya, means the humbleness of the heart. All of the praying was meant to open these realities. It wasn't the praying that the Divine was saying, you pray 1,000 rakahs every day because you are a powerful beast and I want to see how powerful you can be. But the concept of all the form, all the actions that we are doing was to discipline the body, show the Divine sincerity that we are coming with love, we are truly asking to be sincere, we are having good characteristics and good manners, and Divine begins to say, then I will kiss you with my love and my love will dress you, all that we talked about. So then if you are praying and that's not opening, then you must seek the reality that what you're doing is not good enough yet to open that reality. If you are fasting excessively and yet not hearing, not feeling, not seeing the Divinely Presence, then again we have to check, seek out the reality. You do the form but don't be lost on the form. And then with the Sufi community, the whirling. Strong emphasis on the whirling, the sama, the sama, the sama. The sama is a sacred dance, yes, but it's not more sacred than the salah. It's not more sacred than the prayer towards Divine Presence. And if you are spinning and spinning and spinning and yet your heart is not open and you're not hearing the Divine Presence and you're not seeing that oceans of heavenly kingdom, if you're not tasting and feeling all that Prophet wanted for us from our soul, then we must lose the form. You keep the practices but lose the emphasis. The emphasis is that whatever action this form is doing is only a means to get us there. Means we ride the donkey to get to the palace. In the palace you leave the donkey outside. Whatever you are doing that you think is taking you to the heavenly kingdom, then you take it all the way to the gate of the kingdom and then you leave the donkey and begin to enter. Means you meditate, you begin to open the heart, you begin to whirl and then drop your whirling, stop, sit and begin to meditate, contemplate realities, enter now the kingdom. You pray, then as soon as you give your tahiyyat and your salams, make your meditation and your connection to Divinely Presence and get off the form and now enter with your soul into the heavenly kingdom. And they begin to teach like an analogy. If you don't do that, it's like you arrive at the heavenly kingdom and you keep spinning around with your donkey, because people like to whirl or pray or do different things and you're just doing this around the outside of the door of the kingdom. So you can do that all day long but you're still outside, you still have not entered, you're still just playing with the beast. You were supposed to use it to come to the gate, leave it, park it and now come in with your soul. There is no form allowed in the heavenly kingdom. That's why, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, that Allah is saying, this beast, this physicality, all of the form will go into the grave and the earth will take it back but your ruh, your energy, your soul is immediately moving towards my heavenly kingdom. And you should have empowered your soul so that before you leave this earth your soul is hearing me, your soul is seeing, not Allah impossible to see, but what the Divine wants to show us of the heavenly kingdom should have opened unto the soul. Feel from the heavenly kingdom, the taste from the love of the heavenly kingdom. And that's what Mawlana Shaykh is teaching for us, that remember, a reminder always to myself that the actions of the form, they are necessary, they are mandatory, but it is not the goal. It's only a means in which to take us to that palace, and from there we have to get off. We have to leave the form and begin to enter to the heavenly kingdom. The entrance of the soul into the kingdom requires the spiritual practices. Means tafakkur. Prophet described that just tafakkur for 1 hour is like 70 years of worshipness. Means empowering the soul and realizing that my soul can only reach your Divinely Presence, Ya Rabbi. I'm doing all of these practices of my form to discipline myself and to show my love for you, and now I'm asking that my soul to come into your Divinely Presence. And Mawlana Shaykh describes there are many angels that will come to lift your soul from one shore, from where it is, towards the heavenly shores of the heavenly kingdom. And they describe like an old time castle, that there's one land that you're on and there's another land that the heavenly kingdom is on. In the old days they had a castle that drops down with a bridge, because in the water there are many sharks, were many different creatures in the water to stop people from invading the castle. Divine is teaching saying, there are many things, many obstacles so that you just can't run into my heavenly kingdom. But you come through your voluntary form, through your voluntary actions, and you wait there, and I send for you from heavenly creatures to come and take your soul from where it is towards your heavenly reality in my Divinely kingdom. We pray that we understand that we use the form as a means to reach towards that reality, but then break the form down and the importance of the form and begin to bring the power of the soul and the power of love, that when we empower the soul with love, love for those that are already on that side, that's the power of love. And that's what Prophet was teaching, you will be with whom you love. And when a Prophet teaches, he's not talking about bodies, they don't care about the body, but he's saying that when they teach you to love heavenly people, they're teaching you from the soul. When your soul loves them, it's like a magnet, immediately they can pull you. They'll pull you out of your physicality and take you into their presence. Because we don't know how to get to there. But they say that teach us with love and love and love for the Prophets. We end up standing at the shore crying out of our love that, please my Lord, send me to the heavenly kingdom, let my soul to move into that reality. And only through the power of muhabbat and ishq, the soul stands there and immediately levitates and moves towards that Divinely Presence and towards that reality. We pray that in this holy month Prophet dress us from that muhabbat and from that love, that awliyaullah dress us from their endless oceans of guidance and from their teachings. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ila sharafin Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala ashabihi kiram.
Come to the way